Wala. Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to my channel. Pag-aaralan po natin ngayong araw nito ang mahalagang mga tanong na dapat nating marinig or dapat nating pag-aralan before we will going to face the serious interview questions. So we call this the 5 major interview questions. Why I choose to select 5 questions among all of those basic questions when you will going to face interview for a job or you're applying for a job when you are being interviewed, because these are very important, very vital, and yet major questions na dapat nating marinig o pag-aralan so that we can answer accordingly and appropriately towards the interviewer or the employer. Okay, first and foremost, guys, I want to apologize to you for being not too perfect or not really perfect with these discussions today on this video tutorial. But I'm going to be setting you an expectation before anything else that I will be using Tagalog, our dialect, and of course, most of the time we're going to be speaking in English so that we will going to practice ourselves in this tutorial in listening to these basic questions when we're going to apply to certain jobs or in a company or a job specific. Okay. And alright. These 5 major interview questions are very important. So listen to my tips. Mapapasok ang mga ideas and opinions, and as well as mga hints kung paano po maipasa natin yung isang interviews, okay? At makukuha natin yung inaasam nating trabaho. So please listen to me. You can actually take your notes, use your notepad from your phone, or use a pen and a paper to jot down everything important, anything that you will hear about our discussions today, okay? So let's go ahead. Alright, first and foremost, guys, don't forget that when you're going to apply for a certain company, okay, or certain jobs, you need to speak in English manner. Maliban na lang kung mag-a-apply ka sa isang mall or isang not really so speaking environment company, okay? I'm going to, by the way guys, I'm going to use as an example the type of jobs which is the call center industry, okay? Marami siguro kayong mga tanong, mga haka-haka, mga curiosity, questions in mind kung ano yung call center industry all about. Ano yung klase ng trabaho, sino magiging customers o kakausapin ninyo over the phone, at basically, ano yung specific na job descriptions ninyo. But I'm going to discuss that next day on our video tutorial. Here, first, very important, pag-uusapan natin kung ano yung mga 5 major questions. Let's go ahead. Let's speak English only policy, okay? The first question that the employer or the interviewer will going to ask you, very important, is tell me about yourself. Sabihin mo sa akin kung ano at sino ka. There are 2 important topics to include, okay, to prepare yourself for this question. First, tell about your name, your age, your address, your school, and the course that you have taken. Alright. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that question. Sabihin mo ganon. Okay. My name is Jennifer Lopez. I'm 21 years old, and I'm currently residing in Panabo City for since birth, or 15, 20 years now. Okay, and my school, or I was a successful graduate student at University of Southern Philippines, or USAP, or Ateneo de Davao, or Bukidnon State University, whatever the school is, that's okay, that's fine. And I actually took a Bachelor of Science in Management, major in Public Administration. And aside from that one, you can also include the next topic, which is telling about your hobbies and interests. There may be other possible insertions or mga inclusions na pwede mong isabay dito sa first set of questions na to. But I'd rather choose to use hobbies and interests, okay? So what are your hobbies and your interests? So for example, my hobbies and interests, I love reading books most of the time, watching Hollywood movies, okay? And also, I love playing outdoor sports like badminton or volleyball with my close friends. And I love playing games most of the time. Um, yeah, and that's it. You can tell about the first set of questions. The two topics: tell about your name, your age, your address, and the school and the course that you've taken from, and your hobbies and your interests. And finally, once you said that, you have to end that in a statement that's all about myself, ma'am, sir. That's all about myself, ma'am, sir. Meaning to say, pag sinabi mong ganyan, there will be no possibility or um, of 5 to 100% possibility na magtatanong pa ulit ang interviewer sa'yo kung kailangan talaga. But there will be no possibility. It's not possible that they will going to ask you a follow-up questions once you said that statement. It's a closing statement that's all about myself. Okay? So, para hindi na siya mag-raise pa ng other follow-up questions. Okay? So, alright. That's all. For the first question, tell me about yourself. Let's go ahead to the next set of questions, which is, what are your strengths and your weaknesses? Ano ba yung lakas at kahinaan mo? So first, you have to highlight or your strength. Discuss about strength. Let's discuss about strength. So let's highlight the best of yourself, the best set of skills of yourself. Kung ano yung meron ka. I'm very optimistic person. Very hardworking person. You can say that, or I'm a well-driven person. Okay, very determined person. I always try to take advantage of every opportunity or possible opportunity and privileges to take that chances just to make up to it. Okay. Like for example, I wanted this job, so I have to get early. I have to prepare everything about myself. I have to go ready about myself the day before, and when the day has come, I have to wake up in the early at bed and be on the working or hiring side or in the company, the company that I'm applying for early on time, so I will never be late. So I'm this kind of person, man. Very optimistic, very self-driven person, and determined to take my job. Of course, let's talk about the weakness, because you were asked about your weakness. Ano ba yung weakness mo? Okay, so my weakness is make it like very possibly opposite towards your strength. Example, I hate late. I hate manana habit. Or I hate unproductive people. So as much as possible, since I have a leadership skill, ma'am, I have to make sure that I'm leading the person is not really improving that much. I'm very compassionate, very weak, and very near to the meek or humble people. I always try hard to help them, whatever it takes me, just to make sure that I'm able to help or cope up with a person. So that's how weak I am. Okay, so yeah, that's about your strengths and your weaknesses. Okay, but please have a tip, guys. Always remember, do not give any negative thoughts or negative room with your statements. Okay, because any negative thoughts or negative things or words that you may say with your statements towards your employer or interviewer will give the idea to the interviewer or the questioner that you are not really so determined, positive enough to take this job, because you have this doubt, you have this no confidence at all to be positive and proactive to take this job of all possibilities. Okay, iwasan natin maging negative. Okay, so tip, choice of words. Always choose the right word that you would say, so that you will avoid any tendencies that your employer will going to get bored on you. Because if that happens, if they're not interested the way you talk, the way you use of words, and being too negative and not being positive and proactive all throughout your conversation, your answers, and your interviewer will going to get bored on you, she will or he will not going to talk to you anymore. And it's so obvious. You will discern that. You will understand that he won't not or he won't gonna like talking to you. And possibility, based on my experience, guys, believe me, if they are not, likable enough the way you talk, they will going to end the conversation right away, close the conversation right away, and they will go to the next person deserving for the job positions, right? Okay, so that's it for this question. Now let's go ahead to the third set of question, which is, why do you want to work at our company? Bakit mo kailangan magtrabaho sa kumpanya namin? Of course, because of that question, first thing in mind, the interviewer or the employer have this in mind that they badly, desperately need the person deserving or rightful enough for this job position. Okay? Kailangan nila tong tao nito, hinahanap nila tong tao na magtatrabaho sa task na ito, sa trabahong ito. And of course, call center do that most of the time, but very important lang talaga, marunong ka makinig. Kailangan lang yun. Comprehension is very important. Pakikinig, pag-intindi. Kailangan yun sa call center industry. Second thing, another tip is, aside from comprehension, pakikinig, pag-intindi, communication skills. Kailangan yung marunong ka magsalita, marunong ka mag-enunciate ng words. Kailangan yun, hindi ka magtatutter. Always remember, guys, avoid when you're talking or answering the question to your interviewer the words most of the time. It's okay. I admit, even me myself, when I'm asked, sometimes I say that once, twice during the conversation, duration of time, or throughout the duration of our interviews. I say that sometimes, but not really the whole time, because it really hurts the conversation. It's really boring. Nagtatatar ka na noon, gumagamit ka pa ng mga words na hindi necessary, so it's not really important. So guys, you can avoid that. You can practice yourself, get a phone, listen to a recorder, record your voice, then ano yung dapat ni-improve, ano yung dapat na hindi. So you can prepare yourself better than, studying or learning from other things. Okay? Other things are out. It's better to practice within yourself. Okay? Mas better na yung mas ready ka sa sarili mo. Alam mo yung hindi na dapat sabihin, ano yung hindi dapat sabihin, at ano yung dapat na mas magandang sabihin. Okay? So always impress your employer. But of course, guys, tips naman, pag nag-apply kayo sa isang company, like isang call center, itong tanong na ito, mahalaga din siya. Kasi this is how you're going to impress your employer. Having that said, using the word impress, kailangan mo siyang pakilitiin. Bakit kailangan kitang kunin sa company nito? Or ganon. Bakit kukunin kita sa company nito? Anong alam mo? Ganon. So, know the company that you're applying for and the nature of work that you wish to apply for. I would like to apply to your company because, first and foremost, I heard that your company is in a good reputation, having a good background for 10 to 15 years now. Your company is existing with generous heart towards your employees and a good management. So that's a thing for me already. That's a good catch for me, sir, ma'am. I love to be working with your company very soon. And also, aside from knowing the company they're applying for, the background itself, the good thing about that company they're applying for, that's how you can impress your employer or the company itself. That's given the idea from the employer that, may alam siya. Hindi lang siya nag-apply because he's curious, but he really is very interested to apply to this work to our company. So, ganun ang iniisip ng isang employer. That's how you're going to impress. Second thing, impress to assess longevity and the generosity of the company, as what I mentioned. The willingness to stay in the company for long. Huwag mo kalimutan, guys. Pag tinanong kayo, why do you want to work at our company? Having that said, impress your customer, your employer, because of the background, the good standing for long now that the company has, the reputations and generosity of the company toward employees. Fair enough. I would like to say, you can say that, I would like to, as much as possible, if I'm gonna make it in this interview, sir, ma'am, I would like to stay in your company for long, like 3 to 5 years now. That's usually the number of years that we actually answer to our employer. 3 to 5 years. I wish to stay with your company within 3 to 5 years, ma'am. I think that will be pretty enough long for me to gain experience with you guys. But I hope I would be, staying longer than that, ma'am, sir. Okay? Alright, so let's go ahead to the next question. Why should I hire you? Okay, this is pretty much a little bit has a connection or relevance with the previous question. Why do you want to work at our company? Why should I hire you? Bakit ka namin i-hire? There are four E's, guys, that I need you to remember. This is a very important tips. Okay, 4 E's. First, E, embellish your greatest gifts, your talent and your skills. So why should you hire me, ma'am? That's a very wonderful question. You can say that at first, because you should hire me, ma'am, because I have the greatest gifts and talents and skills, as well as than or more than the fellow applicants that I have. Okay, or that after me. I'm actually gifted with talents, ma'am. I can dance, and as well I can sing. Well, if you don't know, ma'am, I have an award as a good dancer way back my college days. Okay, and I'm also singing in our church. I'm a choir member in our church, ma'am. So I sang at the church sometimes, and I also play guitar. I love playing guitar, and as well as playing drums, for example. I believe that your company has parties, has kick-off sometimes, end of the year like that, ma'am. So you can definitely ask me, or I can definitely volunteer myself, if you would mind, to be part of this activity. So you can count, you can rely me on that. It's fine. That's it. So next is encourage your employer to pass you, because you're the best among fellow applicants. So as I mentioned, you can embellish the best that you have, the best skills, set of skills that you have that others don't have, the talent that you have, the gifts that you have. Embellish it. Just impress your employer. Sabihin mo, I am the best among others, ma'am. If you don't know, ma'am, I have these rewards way back to my previous employer. I actually won as a top agent with my previous employer for staying there in 1 year and 6 months, for being a good customer service. With that reward, that charged me, encouraged me to push more, to be more better person, a good worker in my chosen endeavors. So yeah, I am the best person as I am, if you didn't know that. And so number 3 or third is, why should the company hire you? Because you have to impress your employer. And in number 4 is, and in confidence. So very important na sa lahat ng sinasabi, lahat ng sinasagot mo sa questions na mga ganon, kailangan ka may confidence sa sarili. You know what, guys? You should understand that confidence is very vital and critical. I say that because vital, since it's very important and necessary wherever we go, even way back in school. Pag wala tayong confidence sa pag-aaral natin, sa studies natin, even until we go on college, we will never be graduated from a certain course, or we can never, achieve some certain things in our life. We don't have confidence. Even at work, kung wala tayong confidence, walang improvements, walang salutes or walang congratulations from other people who sees our hard works. Kasi we can identify that also from people if, we have confidence or not. They can say so. And we can hear them. We can feel them, okay? That's how you're going to measure yourself also. How you're confident enough towards any task or given situations, right? Okay, kailangan yung confidence. And in these interviews, particularly for these jobs, kailangan yung confidence. Hindi ka dapat lumya, or I'm sorry for using the word, hindi ka dapat weak or slow. Kailangan ka talaga maging alert and smart. Kailangan yun. Smartness and alertness, and that's being confident enough. So, Actually, having said being confident enough, when you're going to face interviews or jobs, your employer or your interviewers will going to discern or understand or feel, obviously, how you're feeling during times. If you're confident with your statements or not, if you're confident or not. Basically, it's the way, the tone of voice that you are saying, the words that you're using, the statements that you are relaying to the interviewers, the experiences that you are showing and sharing to him or her. That shows up confidence. So, always remember to be always confident. Kahit hindi ka confident, magpakaka-confident ka. Magpapakagaling-galingin ka. That's very, one of the key for success, being confident. Always remember that, okay? Be strong, be smart, and confident. Okay, so that's all for our top 4 questions, and let's go to the 5th question. Actually, there are major questions that you can actually assess, practice for yourself before going to a certain interviews for the job that you want. But I include this on the 5th question, very important, okay? The out-of-the-box questions. Why is it out-of-the-box questions? It's kind of a very figurative statement or phrase, but it's really important. During the interview, guys, even at the beginning of the interview, so the moment that you sit down at the table in front of the employer, the interviewer, there will be some surprising statements or questions coming from your interviewer that you will be needed to, or that you will need to prepare for yourself. Yung mga tanong na hindi ka familiar, hindi ka prepared, hindi siya common sa mga naririnig mo sa TV or sa sarili mo or sa libro, those are really strange questions. We call it out-of-the-box questions. Those examples are, how will you tie a shoelace to a shoe? In a layman's term, sa ating lingwahe, paano mo daw ilalagay yung lubid o sinturon sa isang sapatos? I'm not sure if I'm using the right Tagalog term, sinturon. But let's say it a shoelace. So, you will going to answer that in English, of course, confidently. Na hindi ka dapat mag-dead air, okay? Kaya diretso yung sagot mo, nakapag-prepare ka na sa sasabihin mo. Having that said, nakaprepare ka na sa sasagot mo, kailangan confident ka sa sasabihin mo with that strange question. Okay, well, basically, ma'am, the first thing, there are steps that you need to remember if you're going to tie a shoelace to shoe. You have to first hold the tie, put it on the first hole, next to the second hole, crisscross it throughout the last holes, and then tie it in a ribbon tie style, okay? So it can fit to the shoe. That's it. Alright, so other samples for that one is, how will you sell an ice and Eskimo in an Iceland? You understand that an Iceland is an ice snow places, right? So, paano nila magagamit yung ice kung ice snow naman yung lugar? It's a very strange question. Nakakalokang tanong, but it's a self-test. It's a measurement of how confident and how grammatically confident and good enough when you're going to answer the question. It's not really needs to be perfect grammar. It needs a comprehension. Sabi ko kanina, it needs comprehension, pag-intindi, at confidence lang naman. Dalawang C, comprehension and confidence. So, usually what you're going to answer this one is that, okay, alright, you know what? You can actually include naman yung highlights na benefits na makukuha mo sa isang ice. Diba? Impossible naman kasi, no? May magbibili pa ng ice sa lugar ng Iceland na puro naman ice ng lugar galing sa'yo. Bibilihin ka ba? Paano siya i-convince? It's a matter of conviction. So, highlights the benefits. Pwede ka maging creative about it. So, sabihin mo, yung ice na yun, meron siyang magic or meron siyang miracle water nakapaloob doon or content. It has a miracle water content. Kapag hinalo mo yung ice na yun sa isang tubig o isang batsa ng tubig, it will bring, at ininom mo, it will bring healing towards your sickness. The minor sickness as well as major sickness. You can say that. ma'am, you know what? The advantage of this ice is that for only $5, you can take this five pieces of ices and keep it on your refrigerator when use it when you want to use it, because you know what, this is all complete package. It has a miracle water in it. The content of a miracle water has something so beneficial towards your health. It will take away any sickness, headaches, every bad conditions or health conditions that you have. It will remove everything, ma'am. And for only $5, imagine that you will not going to pay off any very expensive medicines, but for $5, you can take advantage of the ice itself. Use it as like, you know, a normal water that you have, and it will automatically set up as like a healing medicine towards your body with that amount, okay? So you can highlight, you can put up any creative things about it, but not too much. Remember, always not be too much creative or magical with your words, because you have to be believable. Kailangan ka nakakapani-paniwala sa iyong employer. Hindi ka na masyadong magical, baka pag-alain kang addict. So, pero that's very important, no? You have to be practical with your storytelling, okay? And, okay. Aside from that, you may be asked another out-of-the-box questions. How will you describe a color red, a blue, a pink, a white to a blind person? Alam mo naman, ang blind person is not able to see things. It's dark in their sight. So how will you going to describe it in different colors, okay? So where do you live? Can you explain to me the shape of your house, the directions? You need to explain that each by each, words by words, okay? So another out-of-the-box questions could be situational. What if you have a friend who will ask you have a friend from other country, visited your place in Philippines, how are you going to tell him to bring him from the airport to your place? So you're going to instruct him right the time of arrival in the airport. What are the set of expectations that you're going to tell to your friend? The moment you take a ride, the minutes that and the distance that it will take during the travel, and the expectation that you are going to do it there at home. Like you have a lot of foods prepared at home, favorite delicacies, Pinoy delicacies, surprising foods that your friends love to eat. Okay? Like pancet, bagoong, ganun, anything. So, as is na yung employer mo will be your friend, sasabihin mo yung ganun, explain mo sa kanya as a visitor, okay? So you know what, guys? We're done with the out-of-the-box questions. Very important tips lang. I mean, not related tips, but an idea kung bakit tinatanong ka ng mga out-of-the-box questions ng isang interviewer or employer, okay? Because the reason that they will going to ask you this out-of-the-box questions, it's because they want to know your communication skills. Communication skills tell us about the advantage of speaking that you have. The set of skills that you have when it comes to relaying your messages, telling a story, saying the word, the knowledge that you have in mind, testing about or measuring about the set of skills and knowledge that you have in mind. So, hindi ka kasi, parang ganito lang siya. Let's put in a way that ang isang tao or isang applicant nag-a-apply sa isang kumpanya, let's say in a mall. Tapos, ina-applyan niya, hindi dicer, hindi sales lady, but particularly isang customer service. Yung nag-a-announce, paging the driver of the black BMW, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Hindi, kailangan nila kasi, naghanap sila isang qualified applicants to suit the job preference. Kung pasado ba to, kailangan to, tama, sapat na. And of course, one of it, to put the applicants or aspirant applicants to the position of customer service in a mall to announce, they have to test the communication skills that they have. Ano yung alam nila na the way sila magsalita? Ano yung meron sila pag magsalita sila? Ano yung ganda pag magsalita sila? Kailangan yun. So, it's very important and very practical in our world today na meron tayong kinalalagyan. So, iba-iba tayong skills and talents that we have na Minsan, na-harness din naman. Minsan, inborn na siya. Okay? Kung nagtataka tayo. So, in this type of job, in this call center industry, very important po. Very, very important. Sa lahat. Kailangan ang communication skill. Marunong ka magsalita. Hindi ka pwedeng tatangahin, hindi ka dapat slow, dapat mabilis, smart, confident, enough. Okay? Di bale, there's a room for improvement, ika nga, na pag-aaralan at na paghusay ng mga bagay. What communication skill, that's a thing that needs to be discussed, needs to be enhanced, needs to be practiced. Okay? Hindi lahat meron yan. Okay? Na pag-aaralan naman yan. So, they're going to ask you this out-of-the-box questions because they want to test the communication skills that you have. Kaya kung hindi ka marunong, in short, kung hindi ka marunong magsalita, sumagot, umintindi, based sa sagot mo sa tanong ng mga ito, hindi ka sapat or enough or fit for the job. Alright? Approve? Okay. Next. We're actually done with our 5 major questions during the interviews. So, before I will congratulate you guys, you can replay that, okay? All of these questions, if you have things in mind to ask, you can write it down. Or we can address that, okay? No worries. And also, if you have things in mind that you would like, or that you're inspired about, gusto mo pakinggan ulit, yeah, you can do so. Just replay that one, or you can put it down in the notes before you're applying for a job. And then, of course, that's all for today, guys. Very important tips or very important information that you need to know so you can get the job, okay? Remember those tips, guys. Okay? Walang mawawala kung pag-aaralan, i-repeat mo yung natutunan mo ngayon today sa video tutorial ko. And of course, practicing mo sa sarili mo, sa bahay mo, okay? And of course, there might be a lot of things that we need to discuss about, okay? Marami siguro kayong tanong, haka-haka sa isip, curiosity. Ano pa bang gusto niyong itanong? What are the things in mind? Of course, nandyan yung how to get the job you want. Paano mo ba makukuha yung trabaho mo aside from facing the interview or passing the interview questions? Nandyan yung tanong na, what are the expectations about your job? About the call center. So, tatanong kayo, ano yung binibenta nyo? Binibenta namin? Natatanong kayo, ano yung sinasabi namin? Yung mga scripts? Ano yung type of job or type of customers that we have? Okay? It's really fun. And next, you may be wondering how to improve the communication skills that you have. Kasama niyan, pag-usapan natin in the next video tutorial about the tongue twister. So, importante yun. One of the tips, guys, para ma-test natin yung skills of communications natin, the way we speak, is learning from tongue twisting or tongue twister. Like Peter Piper picks a peck of pickled pepper, and blah, blah, blah. It's very important because that's how you're going to practice your communication skills through positioning your tongue in the right positions, saying the word according properly, okay? Alright, so guys, congratulations. Now that you have passed the interviews, you are headed to the next part of the hiring process. Good luck. Could it be a final interview, which is some sort of questions, maybe some of these questions na itatanong sa'yo is very important, or some other questions na nasabi ko na din during this video tutorial. Congratulations, you passed the jobs, and good luck. Thanks for watching, and please drop a like and subscribe to my channel, guys, and bye for now. Voila!